All right, so we are at the gym, and I'm going to take my pre-workout real quickly. I'm just gonna put this out over here because it tends to have so much powder in the beginning. It looks pretty empty, the parking lot. I think I'm probably the only person in the gym, which is amazing. That is the best feeling ever. That is like the best feeling when you're the only person in the gym, especially when I'm recording content. Nothing hits better than that. We're gonna take a full scoop actually because it's gonna be intense and I'm gonna need all of the energy I possibly can get. Wow, that is gonna hit. That's gonna hit. I don't know, you just can tell when it's gonna hit you really hard. It's gonna hit me really hard. And I already have a lot of energy already, so this is gonna be like the over the top that I need. We're gonna head off to the gym. I got my gym bag. All right, let's go. All right, the first thing anybody should be doing before you work out are some dynamic stretches. I don't care who you are. I don't care how long you're working out for. If you're not doing dynamic stretches to start your workout, you're doing it wrong. So I'm doing some dynamic stretches to start off. You want to be stretching the muscles that you are going to be using throughout your workout. So here I'm doing stretches for my quads, my hamstring, and my glutes. Even though it's a glute-focused day, those muscles will still be supported. And I do about 30 seconds in and out of the range of motion. I sped up the clips here just so that you guys can see what I'm doing without having to watch the whole thing because it is kind of long. And once we're done with that, warming up the muscles, we are going to go straight into doing some glute activation. Now, this is really good to like fire up the glutes. I know there's a lot of people out there saying that glute activations don't work, they do nothing for you, yada yada, blah blah blah. We don't need that negativity, okay? I've been doing glute activation for years. It's been working for me. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna still do it. I don't care what you have to say. So if you guys still do glute activations, these are good glute activations to do. I do have a video linked in my YouTube channel. I will put a description below of what I do, just a real breakdown of it you guys can follow along to. I do 20 reps for each. So I did 20 reps of the glute bridge that I just did. I do 20 reps of the hip abductors just to like fire up my glutes because I definitely feel it while I do my like glute activations, hence why I keep doing it because I love it. And then I do some like kickbacks with the resistant bands just to add a little bit more attention to the glutes. I do 20 on each leg and I try not to over kick because we don't want to arch that back. So the first exercise I usually start with is a heavy hip thrust because this is the hardest and exerts the most energy out of me. Plus, your girl hit a new PR, you guys. Like, check out those weights. I'm thrusting heavy. I'm super happy, super excited. I'm trying to get to 6th place very soon. But as you guys can see, I'm having a proper form. I'm not doing too much of the legs out, so it's not really targeting my quads, more my glutes. And yeah, my face says it all. That shit hurts. So the next exercise I did was some cable kickbacks. These are super convenient for isolating your glutes. It's not a compound lift, so this is not something that you want to opt out a compound lift like glute bridges, not glute bridges, hip thrust for. But these are really good when it comes to isolating your glutes. You want to make sure your back is flat because if you start arching your back, you are going to feel lower pain. I do have a breakdown of this in my video with the cable exercises for glutes, so make sure to check that out as well. I do about 15 reps on each leg. And then I switched over and did some lateral kicks. So why I do this is because you have to target every single muscle of your glutes on glute day. If you guys don't know, your glutes is made up of 3 different muscles. So this one here is really targeting the side glutes. So that's the medius and the minimus. And this you don't have to have like heavy weights. I do high reps, like 15 to 20 because the weight's low. So next what we go into is we're doing some stiff leg deadlift. So this is more of a compound workout because it does target your thighs, so your quads, your hamstring, and your glutes. As you guys can see, I'm actually checking myself very frequently in the mirror because I want to make sure that I have the right form because sometimes you don't know if your form is right. So it's super ideal, you guys, just to check yourself out. Also, you know, if you look good, like your outfit, check yourself out. But you're mainly checking yourself out for your form. And I put some resisting bands on just to give myself more attention with the heavier dumbbell weights. You can do this with a barbell as well, but today I just wanted to do a dumbbell instead of a barbell, but whatever. So then we went straight in and did some sumo squats. Here you want to really make sure that you're positioning your feet properly. So as you guys can see, I had to like readjust my feet because I knew it wasn't the proper way. So you want to have your feet pointed out, kind of like a ballerina-ish, and definitely outside of your shoulders. And as you go down, you want to hinge your hips back, drop your torso down parallel to the ground, and then come right back up, squeeze your glutes. This is really good for like your inner thigh as well as your glutes. So it is another compound exercise, not completely glute dominant like in isolation, but nonetheless is a staple for my lower body days. I actually like this more than the regular squats, to be honest with you.
So then for the last exercise, what I did was I did some glute bridges, but this time I added some heavy weights, as you can see. I also put a resistance band on my thighs just to add a bit more resistance. And here I did about 15 reps, about 4 sets, because this is a bit easier than like, not a bit, this is hella easier. I'm not gonna be lying to you, like I'm gonna be real. It's a lot easier than a hip thrust, but it still really fires up on your glutes. And if you guys want to really target your glutes, just make sure to push off the heel of your foot, because that's really going to activate your glute muscles. And you also want to squeeze your glutes at the top as usual. Inhale when you come down and exhale as you thrust up.
It is Wednesday, November, what day is it today? November 17th. And we are doing a light leg day. So what that means for me is it means we're doing higher reps, low weights. So as we did on Monday, we did high weights, heavier weights, low reps. Today is the reverse. When you're doing light, you can definitely up your reps because your weight is lighter. So push yourself, push yourself. When you feel like giving up, push yourself, okay? So I'm going to take my pre-workout in the gym, and I'm also excited because I got this outfit that I'm wearing today. You're going to see in the gym. A little sneak peek right now, actually. This cute top from Amazon is actually, my whole set kind of looks like a Gymshark dupe, but for half the price, because baby, we're not paying $100 for pants and a shirt. We're not doing that over here. No. So we are going to go hit the gym, and I'll catch you guys later.
So for any leg day that I do, whether it's a light leg day or heavy leg day, I start off with squats. Now, when I do my squats with the barbell, I usually warm up with just the barbell, no weight, just to get the whole motion of the squat. And I'm actually doing a variation where I do pulses before coming up. So as you can see, I go down for 2 pulses and then I come up, which is 1 rep. I did 12 reps of these with the barbell, and then when I packed on the weight, I aimed for 12, but sometimes I did 8, you know, because like my legs were on fire, you guys. I'm gonna be real and honest. Like, they were sore from Monday's workout, and I don't think this is an ideal thing to do legs the next day, even if it's light. I definitely need to have a 1-day break in between, because even though I did glutes on Monday, I still worked a bit of my quads and my hamstrings, so I'm probably gonna do another day, another time for light leg day. But anyways, as you guys can see, I added on some weight, nothing too heavy or crazy. I have 20 pounds. And I'm doing the exact same thing, going down, pulsing 2 times, and then coming up. I also alternate sometimes between wearing shoes and no shoes. Super important when you guys are doing heavy leg day or just like a leg day in general, I highly recommend you guys to wear flat shoes because it keeps you more grounded to the ground. If you see someone taking off their shoes, I've said this before in my other videos, it's because it keeps us more grounded to the floor. It connects us more to the floor, and that really helps us with pushing up through the heel of our foot for a squat. The next exercise I did was our all-time favorite, with my most sarcastic voice ever, the Hungarian split squats. I have a hate and love relationship for this exercise because as much as I hate it because it burns, I love it because it's super, super effective. And I wasn't trying to do heavy with this, so I had about 15 pounds in each hand. And I just really try to get the full range of motion as well as do as many as I possibly could. So that was like 15 for me. For this exercise, you guys, if you want to really target your glutes a bit more, you want to make sure that you're leaning your torso forward as you see I'm doing. And you want to have a bigger gap between your feet. The more closer your feet are together, the more it's going to target your quad. So a little game point there. Then what I did was I actually did a superset for my legs on the leg extension. I don't know what I was thinking because this one actually really, really hurt. Like, it was on fire, my legs. I started off by doing 12 regular full range of motion leg extension. For this, you want to really keep in mind that you don't want to lock your knees at the top. So when you do this, you want to have a slight bend in your knee, and you don't want to have no control of the bone folder that your ankle is around, right? So you want to control it up and then bring it right back down. Don't let that weight control you. Then once I did 12 reps on a slightly heavier lift, I went to about 20 instead of 50. So like half that weight, and then I did pulses. So this one is where it really started burning because as you guys can see, I'm not doing the full range of motion. I go about halfway and then I pulse it right back up to the top. I had to take a little break here because like guys, this shit was burning. You have to try it to really believe it. I finished off with 12 more reps as you guys can see, and yeah, the pain came through. So the fourth exercise I did for my light leg day was Romanian deadlift. This is kind of, I would say, like in between a stiff leg deadlift and a regular deadlift because your legs aren't going to be as straight as a stiff leg, and you're not going all the way down as you would for a deadlift. So I like this because it does target more my glutes and my quads, my hamstring. And I don't know, I like it a bit more than just like the stiff leg deadlift, because I feel like the stiff leg deadlift is just a bit too much on my hamstring for me. So I did about 15 reps for 3 to 4 sets. I can't recall how many sets I did, but I usually aim for 3 to 4 sets. And because it's super light, as you guys can see here, I'm doing 20 pounds. I was able to do more of my reps. So when you're doing light, you guys, super important, you want to do higher reps because you have lighter weights. And if you're doing heavier weights, you want to have lighter reps. So the last exercise I did was actually my first time doing this exercise. I saw it on Instagram and I wanted to give it a try, but my own little spin to it. So it's basically a cable squat variation, but I did elevated version. So as you guys can see, my heels are elevated off the ground while my toes are touching the floor. And I actually got like one of those handlebars that you would use for a straight arm pull down, and I placed it under my knees. So this is really difficult because you're trying to like balance yourself while doing the squat, ass to grass, while also keeping that bar stable. So as you can see, my thighs were on fire because I did about 15 of these just to kind of get the feel of things and how things work without that dumbbell that you guys see in front. Once I got the hang of things, I definitely did add the dumbbell for like my fewer other sets. And then what I did, I actually held a squat pose for about 5 to 10 seconds. First time for 5 seconds, but after that I did 10 seconds. You guys have to try this out.
So it is day 3 of my new workout split. We are Thursday, so that means we're going to do upper body, but more of a back focus upper body. And I'm also going to add in some abs at the end for about 10 minutes. Personally, I like to do abs at least once a week, just to kind of like keep my stomach flat and, you know, my muscles and my abs defined a little. I will even slide it in there a few times more, like maybe twice or 3 times, because literally what I do is like a 5 to 10 minute ab routine at the end of my workout. So it ain't much. It don't take much to do it, you know? I also did not want to take any pre-workout today because I had enough sleep. I slept in, you know, I'm feeling good. But then this weather, like, it's so gloomy right now. It's just so depressing. It's really depressing, and it's making me not have the energy that I need to get through this workout. And I'm a type of person where the weather really does affect and play on my mood. Like, this is just really depressing and it's making me feel bleh and not wanting to work out. But I'm going to push myself regardless. I'm not going to take pre-workout still. I don't want to be dependent on it. So I really just want to be able to push myself and get myself through it. I know I'm a type of person that when I start working out, I start getting like, you know, my endorphins and my adrenaline and everything going, and I just want to keep going. So I'm going to try to rely on that, the natural pre-workout, if that makes any sense. I'm going to try to rely on that and get that done. I don't know what this woman is doing. She's literally walking around in the rain with a paper. I don't know if she's looking at a map because she's like flipping the paper around as if she's looking for directions. And I don't want her to come to my car and talk to me. So we can go to the gym real quick because I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm very antisocial today, okay? The only talking I'm doing today is to this camera.
Alright, so for my back day, I started off with this little bicycle, stationary bike you want to call it. It's different than the usual stationary bikes that I've seen because here what you have to do, you actually have to like move your hands with your feet. So it's kind of like a full body workout, I would say, because you got to pedal and, you know, as I said, move your hands. Also, as you guys can see, probably not so much, there is a fan at the wheel part at the base of the bicycle. So as you're working out, you're getting cooled off, which is so cool, I find. Then after 5-6 minutes on that, I went ahead and did dynamic stretches because as we said before, we always got to do dynamic stretches before we do any workout. So here I have a resistant band with me and I'm just stretching out really like my shoulders, my lats over here as I turn my body from side to side, really getting that full stretch on your lats. And then once I finished this, what I did was I went ahead and placed the band in front of me and I just stretched it out as far as possible against my chest to really just like stretch out my back muscles because as I said, it's back day. So that's what you want to do. So because your girl is trying to do 5 non-assisted pull-ups by the end of this year, which is literally like in a month, the first exercise I started off with was an assisted pull-up. So this is really going to help you guys. If anyone is trying to do non-assisted pull-ups, this is really going to help you by just getting some bands and having that assist you as you pull your body up. I actually have my knee placed into the loophole right now, which I find is a bit more harder than when I have my foot completely placed in there. And I was aiming for about 8 to 6 reps because I was really trying to get my chin over the bar. Because is it really a pull-up if your chin's not reaching over the bar? So after that, I went and did another variation where my legs are completely straight and I'm pulling my body more up. this to me was a bit more easier. I was able to do about 8 to 10 reps for that. And then once I finished it, I went off and did some T-bar exercises. So this is really good. If you guys haven't seen this before or at the gym, or you have it at your gym, you have to use it because I love this machine, honestly. It's really good for your upper back muscles. I started warming up with no weights. I did about 12 to 15 reps, and then I added on a 25-pound weight. I was just really checking my form because you really want to make sure that you're hinging your hips back properly. You know, your torso is parallel to the ground, knees slightly bended. Because if you're putting too much tension on your lower back, you're going to feel pain there, and you do not want to. You want to feel all of the muscles contracted in your upper back and nothing in your lower back. So then what we did after we did about 12 reps for 3 sets, we went off and did some straight arm cable pull down. So if you guys don't recognize, that bar actually is the same bar I used for my squat variation with the cables, but this one here we're using to work our back. So as you guys can see, my arms are holding on the handle opposite ends, and I'm literally pulling the bar from my head all the way down to my thigh while keeping my arms completely straight. So basically it's telling you what to do in the name of the exercise, because the exercise is called straight arm cable pull down, which is exactly what you're doing. So you really want to make sure that your back is flat, not too arched, not too rounded, and you want to have those elbows and shoulders relaxed and depressed, so drop back. So next what we did is we did some cable pull throughs but seated. And I actually got like those individual handles and I put them together on the cable hooks because I couldn't find the other ones for some odd reason. For this exercise, I love it because you really want to feel that in your upper shoulder muscles, not shoulder, but upper back muscles, which I definitely felt it in. And it's super important that you have your elbows relaxed. If you guys find you're like, bring your elbows up a bit too high, hunching them over, it might be too heavy for you and you're focusing on just lifting the weight rather than the actual movement properly, which is what you want to do. So humble yourself, drop the weight if it's too heavy. Then we went ahead and supersetted in some bicep curl ups. I forgot the name of this, but I really do like it because you're literally squatting as if like, you know, you're at the corner of the street, there's no toilet and you're taking a piss. This is literally what you're doing. Maybe not so low for a squat, but you're going into a really low squat with the ropes and you're just going to pull them up to your face so that you can do a bicep curl. And I did about 12 reps for that. So this last exercise wasn't part of my program, but I wanted to try this out while I was at the gym. It is more of a shoulder exercise than a back exercise, so just keep that a little thing in mind, you guys, before you come for me. I'm actually sitting down on a stability ball just to really challenge my balance rather than sitting on a flat surface. And as you guys can see, I'm constantly checking my form to make sure that my back is flat, and I am pressing the weights over my head and not in front of my head. So it's definitely gonna burn after a couple of sets in with the shoulders. And I went ahead and did a superset with some bent over rows just to really make sure that I'm still targeting my back, because as you said, today is a back workout day. So I did about 15 reps with these because I did have lighter dumbbells, so I was able to do a bit more than I would usually do reps wise with a dumbbell. So the last thing that we did was hit abs, of course, as I mentioned earlier in my car. We did about 3 to 4 exercises for 4 sets. So the first one, as you guys can see, I have basically a medicine ball. It's like 10 pounds, and I'm basically just crunching over, bringing my hands to my feet. This really hurts your whole entire core. It works everything. It's amazing. I love it. When I have my clients do this, they are dying because it's working your upper core, your lower core, your mid core, everything. Then I do that for about 30 seconds. Once I finish that, I'm basically doing here like a push the ball up in the air with a leg raise. So this was also my first time doing this exercise. There's a lot of firsts in this video, you guys. And it was kind of challenging at first throwing the ball up while lifting my legs. But I'm just going to try it a bit more just so I can get more like confident and more practice in it so it's more cohesive, I would say, because I definitely need work for that. And then the last, well, semi to last, is Russian twist with a medicine ball. So here I have my feet elevated off the ground. I did about 12 reps. And for you guys, if you find it's a bit too hard, you can definitely place your feet on the ground and still do the same movement. Make sure it's a full range of movement as you go from side to side. Now, the last thing I did, which I love doing, if you guys know me and follow my home workouts, then you guys know I love doing planks at the end. So I held a plank for about 1 minute on my forearm. I wasn't really checking my form here because I can easily see by watching this video that my butt slowly gets higher and higher up as the time passes. So you guys definitely want to keep in mind that when you're doing a plank, do it next to a mirror so that you can see your form, because I wish I could see my form, because you want to keep your butt, your back, and your shoulder blades all parallel and aligned. And you also want to engage your glutes as well as your abs as you're doing this plank. If it gets too hard, you can always drop down to your knees by keeping your hips forward, but still try to do them on your tippy toes.
It is literally one of those days. I do not feel like working out. Today's actually a lot nicer. It's sunnier skies. I will show you guys, at least in one part. Like over here it's sunny, you know, nice, pretty. It's still cold. You can see the wind through the net. And then over here it's like cloudy and dark. I don't know, bipolar. I'm literally pushing myself just to get this quick workout in. It's not gonna be a long workout. It's gonna be quick. I don't even know what I want to do. I keep going back and forth in my head, like, do I want to do lower body? Do I want to do a full body? I don't even know. I have no energy. I'm so tired. I'm running on 3 hours of sleep. Last night I was working at the bar and we took a lot of shots, so I'm like hungover. I'm tired. I'm everything you don't want to be before doing a workout. I literally have zero motivation to get this workout in. Like, it's not even funny. I don't even know what I want to do. I'm still trying to figure that out. If I want to do upper body again, do I want to do full body, do I want to do lower body? I don't know. I really don't know. I need to figure it out though, because the gym is right there and time is ticking. Today, however, is not a day to not take pre-workout. Like, today pre-workout will be taken because I need all the energy I can get right now. I'm just like, we gonna take this pre-workout and then go to the gym. Let's do this. Cheers to a great workout, getting the gains in, slimming down the waist, and feeling good afterwards.
So I decided to do some lower body exercises, and honestly, like, I was just figuring it out as I went along. Like, I didn't know what my next exercise was going to be after this hamstring curl, but the first thing I did was a hamstring curl, because that was like the first machine I saw as I walked into the gym, and I haven't done these in a long time. These are really good burn for like your hamstring if you guys have not tried these as yet. I did about 12 reps, 3 to 4 sets. If you guys don't have this machine at your gym, you definitely can like do a different variation where you have a dumbbell in between your feet and you just want to curl your hamstring up with the dumbbell. So the next exercise I did was a little variation on some lunges, because you know we like to switch it up over here. So what I did was a reverse lunge to a front lunge with 2 15-pound dumbbells. So nothing too crazy, too heavy, because this exercise really is a burner, you guys. Like, it literally burns your whole lower body. So that's your glutes, your quads, your hamstring, like everything we want to be targeting on a lower body day. So what's interesting about this one is that you want to keep one foot completely stationary. So here's my left foot, and my right foot is going from a front lunge to a back lunge. So this is a bit tricky on the balance, but once you get the momentum, it will be a bit easier. And also, one rep is going from reverse to front. So it's not back 1, front 2. No, it's back, front 1. So I did about 8 to 10 reps for that. And then after, the next exercise I did was some jump seated box squat. So basically, with 2 dumbbells on my shoulders, I went bound into a box squat, and then I jumped up to the heel of my foot as high as I possibly could, just to like really get my heart rate racing just a little bit, you know, a little high intensity, throw in a little bit there because I didn't do any all week. And this was really good. I did it for about 30 seconds, 3 to 4 sets. And as you guys can see, I'm really just pushing off the heel of my foot as I am coming up from the squat. Another thing I noticed while I'm watching my video, and I don't want you guys to do, is you don't want to lean too much back as you sit down, okay? You want to keep that torso still leaned forward, that spine still neutral. So it's good to record yourself sometimes because you're able really to just see what your errors are and fix yourself as you go in the future. So if you guys definitely work out, I highly recommend to record yourself, not to post, but just for your own, not recollection, but just for you to see what your mistakes are, your flaws are, and what needs fixing. Yes, I was listening to some Summer Walker while working out, because not every day I want to listen to like hip hop, trap, rah 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 music. Like, no, sometimes I just want to listen to some like slow R&B, and today was one of those days. So the last exercise I did was with this like little pulley machine, not too sure what it's called. I added 6 plates and I basically pushed it to one end of the gym, And then going back, I pulled it reversely. Don't know if that's even a word. I pulled it in a reverse position, stepping back all the way to the next end of the gym. Now, I did this for about 3 to 4 sets. So one set was going up and then going right back down. And when I tell you guys, this may look easy because you might be like, oh, it's a little pulley machine, there's wheels, and it's not that hard. No, okay, this was really hard. Like, look how I'm walking. I'm walking as if I have something stuck on my ass. It's been a long week, a lot of workouts. Today was just, yeah, self-explanatory, pretty much. That sums up my whole week. So that is the end of my week of workout video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I am going to record more of this just to also track my progress as I go along. And I'm so extra for crawling on the floor. It wasn't that serious. But you guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.